So today I'm dressed in shades of red and purple for a reason, because I'm going to show you 5 evergreen perennials that have beautiful shades of reds and purples during the winter into early spring season, which may give you an incentive to purchase them at the garden center or nursery this year, especially because in some cases their summer colors are completely different than what you're going to see now in winter into spring. So I'm going to show you the 5 evergreen perennials first, and then I'm going to show you some of my purple crocuses to stay with the purple and reds theme, and then a winter heath with gorgeous magenta flowers. So I want you to remember that evergreen doesn't always mean evergreen. Today it's going to mean purple and red. Let's get started. First up is Peppermint Patty Bergenia, also known as Pigsqueak. In the summer, you have these beautiful large leaves with bright green color. And here's what the flowers look like in spring. I can't wait to see these flowers in a couple of months because I only planted this last summer. And these flowers on Peppermint Patty are larger than other Bergenias, so this is going to be quite a treat. So last fall, the leaf color began changing to what it looks like in winter. Really fun shades of red. And here's the really fun winter color I was so happy to see. Yes, Peppermint Patty looks all alone right now until all the daffodils and other perennials come back up. But I'm definitely going to buy at least one more this year to add here, simply because I already love her so much and I haven't even enjoyed her flowers yet. This is quite a ringing endorsement for this Bergenia already. So I want you to look closely at the shading on these leaves because despite all of the freezing temperatures we've had so far this winter, the color is still really nice and definitely catches your eye from far away. The newer leaves are showing more green, and look at how intricate these leaves are. Walter's Gardens describes them as extra thick with prickly toothed edges, which I think is the perfect description. Naturally, there's some dead leaves, which are the older ones. Those can easily be snipped off when I do my spring cleanup. So I knew Bergenias had pretty red winter color, but seeing it in person, I can't tell you how neat it is. Peppermint Patty's already become a favorite evergreen perennial for me, and I haven't even seen the flowers on mine yet. And by the way, Peppermint Patty Bergenia is new from proven winners in Walter's Gardens this year, so be on the lookout for her at garden centers and nurseries, and stay tuned because I'll definitely be sharing how the flowers look in her first spring in my garden, and I cannot wait. Now next up is Heucherella Capture the Flag, and I only planted this last fall, so I don't have any good footage just yet. But these images from Walter's Gardens show the stunning summer color. You've got chartreuse leaves, the burgundy red centers and veining looks so cool. And the spring flowers, they're going to be white on the ends of light colored stems. Again, I can't wait to see the flowers this year and share them with you because I haven't seen them up close and personal myself yet. But the winter color, that's what's floored me. Look at this purple color. Almost has a hint of burgundy. It's so unexpected yet so darn pretty. Now look at this newer leaf. See, now you can get a sense of what the color will be returning to in the spring. And here you can see the veining in the sunlight. I love how different this Heucherella looks in winter versus summer. It's so different. And the summer color is going to look so pretty next to this King's Gold Mop Cypress. Now here's a larger leaf that still has some of the chartreuse color on the very tip. Now Capture the Flag is a large leaf variety of Heucherella. It's also new from proven winners in Walter's Gardens this year. So grab this for your part shade to shade garden areas. It's so pretty year round. Now I want to show you another evergreen perennial called Armaria Daydream, which is a sea thrift. I planted these last summer in our new circle bed right at the edge of the bed in front of a matching pink rose bush called Reminiscent Pink. Here's what they look like in the summer newly planted. And the leaves remained green until we had some freezing temperatures, and then some of the leaves turned red. Of the 3 I planted, this one has the best winter color so far, but they're young perennials, just planted last year. So once they mature, I know they're going to be even nicer during the winter months. Now in terms of winter flowering evergreen perennials, you cannot beat Hellebores. These are shooting star Hellebores, and they've been blooming for at least a month already, if not more, and they're going to continue well into the spring. They start with some deep pink buds, and when the flowers first open, they have almost a reddish pink color, especially on the backs of each petal. You see that? And then they gradually lighten up to a pretty creamy color with pale pink highlights. Now the dark red stems, that's another nice red feature for the winter into spring. Aren't they beautiful? There's so many varieties of Hellebores you can buy, and there's a lot of varieties in shades of red, lilac, and purple. So I'll put a list on the screen to get you started if you love reds and purples. So look for Hellebores in early spring at the garden nurseries, as they're always sold while they're blooming. And this way you can see how pretty they're going to look in your own garden. Now Geum is definitely one of my favorite evergreen perennials, with my all-time favorite being Totally Tangerine Geum, mainly because it's a sterile variety that blooms longer than other varieties, and its blooms are taller than other varieties too. Now Totally Tangerine keeps its green color in the warmer zones that it's hardy in, and freezing temperatures can bring out some beautiful red shades in some of the leaves. Right now, these leaves are a nice backdrop for some crocuses, which are beginning to pop up, which leads me to 2 more plants with purple that aren't evergreen perennials, but they're definitely worth sharing with you today. So let's look at the crocuses first. Now crocuses are bulbs planted in the fall, and they'll return year after year, and they multiply over time really nicely. These darker purple crocuses are called Tommies. I'm going to put the very long name on the screen for you. I'm not about to say it this early in the morning. And this pretty variety is called Blue Pearl. I planted 200 of these years ago, and it's only been in the past couple of years I'm getting to finally see them looking more and more like something that belongs here and wasn't an accident. So it was an accident thanks to the squirrels digging many of the bulbs up originally. It was really sad. And then in previous years, the rabbits were eating the crocus flowers before we could even enjoy them. But here they are, and they're just beginning their show. And the final plant is not going to be a surprise if you know my videos. Kramer's Red Winter Heath. Look at these vibrant magenta flowers. They just keep getting better and better as the winter continues into spring. Just look at this color in the sunlight. So now it's your turn. Let me know in the comments if you have any reds and purples in your own garden beds right now, whether it's still winter where you are or it's early spring. And watch this video next for my top 10 colorful flowering evergreen perennials, which is a mouthful, to find more plants that will add to your gardens year round. And until next time, happy gardening.